Today, we're exploring the intricate mechanisms, psychological theories, biological foundations, and social influences that shape why we do what we do. This isn't just about understanding actions, it's about revealing the layers beneath decisions, emotions, instincts, and social interactions. By the end of this video, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of what drives human behavior and how this understanding can be applied to everyday life, education, relationships, and leadership. Human behavior refers to the range of actions and mannerisms made by individuals in conjunction with themselves or their environment. It is influenced by culture, emotions, values, ethics, authority, rapport, hypnosis, persuasion, coercion, and genetics. Behavior includes actions that are conscious or unconscious, voluntary or involuntary, overt or covert. At its core, behavior is a response to stimuli, internal or external. However, not all behavior is reactive. Humans are capable of proactive, intentional, and planned behavior that reflects abstract thought, morality, and foresight. There are two broad categories of behavior. Number 1, innate behavior, actions that are hardwired into our biology, such as reflexes or instinctual responses. Number 2, learned behavior, acquired through interaction, education, and experience. What makes human behavior particularly fascinating is its dynamic nature. It is not fixed, but constantly evolving based on new information, changing environments, and internal psychological states. Furthermore, the same stimuli may result in different responses depending on the individual, their background, and their current state of mind. Understanding behavior is not just about individual psychology. It involves disciplines like neuroscience, sociology, anthropology, behavioral economics, and evolutionary biology. This interdisciplinary nature is what allows us to truly explore the depths of human behavior. The biological foundation of human behavior lies in the brain, the nervous system, and the complex chemical interactions that influence emotions and decision-making. At the center of this is the brain. Different regions control different aspects of behavior. For instance, the prefrontal cortex regulates reasoning, decision-making, and impulse control. The amygdala is linked to emotional responses, especially fear and aggression. The hypothalamus is essential for regulating hunger, thirst, and body temperature. The hippocampus helps in memory formation and learning. Dopamine drives reward-seeking behavior. Serotonin affects mood, appetite, and sleep. Oxytocin is tied to bonding and trust. Cortisol is released in response to stress. Genetics also influence behavior. While genes do not determine behavior outright, they create predispositions. For example, someone might inherit a genetic tendency toward anxiety or addiction, but environmental factors will determine whether those tendencies manifest. Epigenetics adds another layer. This refers to how behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect gene expression. In other words, our life experiences can influence how our genes are activated or silenced, which in turn affects behavior. Hormones like testosterone and estrogen also influence behavior by affecting energy levels, aggression, sexual behavior, and response to stress. The interaction between biology and behavior is complex. A biological predisposition does not guarantee a specific behavior. Instead, it sets the stage for environmental and psychological factors to interact and shape outcomes. Multiple psychological theories attempt to explain the mechanisms behind human behavior. Each theory offers unique insights. Proposed by psychologists, behaviorism focuses on observable behavior. It argues that all behavior is learned through interaction with the environment. Rewards and punishments play a central role in shaping actions, a principle known as operant conditioning. This theory emphasizes internal mental processes, how we think, remember, learn, and solve problems. According to cognitive psychology, behavior is influenced by perceptions and interpretations of events, not just the events themselves. Humanistic theory sees humans as inherently good and motivated by the desire for self-actualization. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, ranging from basic needs like food and safety to higher needs like esteem and self-fulfillment, outlines how behavior changes depending on which needs are unmet. Sigmund Freud introduced this approach, which suggests that unconscious desires, childhood experiences, and inner conflicts influence behavior. Concepts like the ID, ego, and superego describe different parts of the psyche that compete to control behavior. Social learning theory. Proposed by Albert Bandura, this theory combines behaviorism and cognitive psychology. It suggests that people learn behavior by observing others and modeling what they see, highlighting the importance of role models and media. This perspective views behavior through the lens of natural selection. It argues that certain behavioral traits have evolved because they were advantageous for survival and reproduction, like aggression for protection or altruism for group cohesion. The Big Five personality traits, openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, are used to predict behavioral tendencies. Though not absolute, these traits offer valuable insight into consistent patterns in behavior. Each of these theories contributes a piece to the puzzle. While none can explain behavior entirely on their own, together they provide a multidimensional understanding. Human behavior doesn't happen in a vacuum. Our environment, physical, cultural, and social, exerts a powerful influence. Social norms are unwritten rules about how to behave. They influence dress, speech, body language, and even morality. Humans, being social creatures, tend to conform to group norms to gain acceptance and avoid rejection. Peer pressure, whether overt or subtle, can strongly shape decisions and actions. Culture encompasses beliefs, values, language, rituals, and behaviors shared by a group. It shapes everything from gender roles to how emotions are expressed. For example, cultures vary significantly in how they interpret politeness, authority, or individual success. The family environment during childhood is a critical determinant of future behavior. Parenting style, emotional support, discipline, and communication all play roles in developing behavioral tendencies. Education and media. Educational systems and media exposure influence cognition, values, and worldviews. Repeated exposure to certain narratives or behaviors in media can normalize them or create distorted perceptions. Economic and environmental factors. Socioeconomic status affects behavior by influencing access to resources, education, nutrition, and opportunities. People in impoverished environments may develop behaviors adapted for survival that might not be understood in more affluent contexts. Technology and social media. The digital environment adds a new layer to behavior. Online anonymity, constant connectivity, and algorithm-driven content can reshape attention spans, social interactions, and even moral judgment. Often overlooked, the immediate situation can heavily influence behavior. The Stanford Prison Experiment and Milgram's obedience study revealed that ordinary people can engage in extreme behavior under certain conditions. The environment is not merely a background but an active player in shaping how humans behave. It interacts continuously with biology and psychology, creating a complex system of influences. The role of emotion and motivation. Emotion is a critical driver of behavior. Emotions are not just reactions, they serve adaptive purposes. Fear triggers protective behavior. Anger can mobilize energy to confront injustice. Sadness may prompt social bonding or withdrawal for self-reflection. Joy reinforces behavior worth repeating. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch more this kind of videos, then do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.